Hello everyone, my name is George Isaiah Chavez III. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a sophomore here at KSU. I'm a modern dance major. And yeah, I'm excited. I started dancing not too long ago. It's been 4 years. I started dancing a little bit in middle school and then I stopped. And then I came to high school and started back dancing in the 10th grade. From then on, I was dancing in my high school's dance program. And then slowly I started to take outside classes. I started to go to Excel. And that's kind of really where I got most of my dance training. And so through that, that's how I sort of came to the decision that I wanted to study dance in college. I'll say in middle school, my memorable moment was probably I did The Lion King Jr. my 7th grade year. And I got a main role and I was so excited. I played Mufasa, even though I only got to play him for the first act because he dies, of course. But that was really, really cool. That was kind of like a confirmation that, okay, maybe this is something that I want to do. And then in high school, my senior year was really special. I got to do like an internship type thing with my dance teacher and got to help with preparing dance videos and dance lectures for COVID because that was happening. And so I got to choreograph, I got to help film tutorials on video, I got to costume design, I got to do a whole bunch of stuff. And yeah, the senior year was I was doing everything, yeah. When I first started dancing, I was really into the commercial world, which is more of dancing for an artist or music video or commercials. So I liked a lot of hip hop, I liked a lot of jazz, and I think just because of, I guess, the type of dancer I am, I took to that a lot easier. That was more acceptable to me and in my body and how I moved. So jazz and hip hop was my favorite in the beginning. And then as I came to college, it was ooh, this modern concentration, right? And so I didn't really know what that meant. And then I came here and I slowly started to love, I would just say the whole modern genre, basically. It's just so much freedom to express yourself. And yeah, you can improv, you can do whatever you want. And I think that's slowly transformed into my favorite. But I like to do them all. There was a bit of a struggle when I first was making the transition to college. Of course, coming to a dance department where there's a vast array of dancers that come here, I knew that I was going to have to face the idea of self-defeat in the sense of okay, you're coming into a space where you're dancing with people who's basically, some of them have danced all their lives, some of them starting at 2 or 3 years old, right? And so here I am, just starting fresh to dance. And it was a little discouraging at first to kind of be here and accept that I take up space in a room with people that, have more experience than me, and realize that that doesn't lessen my value as a dancer, as a creative. And so that was something I really struggled with as well. And as far as my identity, that was another thing, kind of finding the intersection between my personal identity and how I want to portray myself as an artist was something that I just really started to figure out and get the hang of in college. Most of the times in classical ballet works or some modern works, there's defined male and female roles. And so because of my non-binary identity, that was something that I struggled with, it was okay, well wait, I can do both, right? I have a love and I want to appreciate and embrace both, but where are the opportunities for that? So I guess seeing a lack of representation as far as non-binary artists is concerned is something that discouraged me a little bit, but I'm learning that George is special and that just me existing here is representation and is the representation that I need to continue. I'll definitely say from the beginning of when I started dancing, I always knew that naturally I was a performer. I kind of have a taking to telling stories. Growing up, before I started dancing, I sang as well and I did musical theater and acting. And so then when it came to dance, it was oh, how do I let these two things go? I've been doing them for so long. So I found when coming to dance that performing and being a natural performer is one of my strengths. I could say I'm doing pretty well. I guess my work ethic is another thing that makes me a great artist. Um, yeah, I work really hard, and I think that's kind of how I've been able to get to where I am, is just by no matter what, just knowing that the hard work pays off, even when people are telling you that, oh, maybe you should try a different major, or maybe you should do something different, or when people say you don't have as much experience as some other dancers. I now know that like the hard work is it brings value to you, and I would definitely say that's one of my strengths. I guess another one would be is that I'm a great collaborator as well. So as well as performing, I also run a production company with me and my friend Ife. And so that just calls for like collaboration all the time. And even as a dancer outside of production, and in any job, you have to be a great like team player. But I feel like I'm a really good team player when it comes to dancing. I just collaborate with people really well. I love people, love communicating, love talking to people. So yeah, those are some strengths. I would definitely say mental health and physical health are probably two of the biggest like struggles you're gonna face as a dance major, or I feel like as any artist, because it is a physical and a mental battle and a mental, yeah, it's a challenge. So physically, dealing with injuries and things like that, yeah, because we're, a dance department and we perform only certain times throughout the year. Sometimes when you get injured and it's like, okay, well now I have to miss out on that. And so you can get really discouraged, thinking you're gonna miss out on things because of injury. I also feel like the mental health aspect of that as well, like being injured physically also affects you mentally, especially for dancers, people who are moving all the time, to tell them, okay, you have to sit out for 6 to 8 weeks. And like, if you don't, you won't be able to dance again. And it's like, okay, I have to sit down for 6 to 8 weeks. Now I'm like out of a routine. Now I'm not able to really move and do what I love. And so that affects you mentally. And I know I've dealt with that before. And just on top of that, the balance of school and life and dance, it's constantly a juggle between the three. Dance does take up a lot of my life, which I love, but I guess like production as well is something that I just recently fell in love with. And even though it's dance related, it allows my like dancer side of me to kind of rest and for me not to think about dance, but to see it in a different manner. So last semester, I was able to take a step back and not dance in the fall show that we had, and I was able to be on production. And so being a part of the show and being a part of a process, but in a different way, production-wise, is something that I really enjoy, and I would love to do more. I also love hiking, especially when the weather allows. Traveling is another thing that I am starting to love. I think I'm a really chill person, so like just going anywhere with my friends and the people I love is like a hobby of mine. Hiking, listening to music, journaling is another thing that I'm getting into as well. And I draw a little bit. I wouldn't say I'm the best at it, but it's fun. Lisa Locke is someone that I look up to a lot. Autumn Ekman as well. Just because they bring so much passion and love to the art form that I feel like can sometimes be shied away from because we feel like it's a job. So like, you come in, you train, and they just bring so much love to the process. And they're willing to give people chances. At least that's what I've noticed is like, because I haven't been dancing for as long as other people, those two professors in particular are ones that kind of took to me and showed me that there is space for me and allowed me to be a part of their process and their love for dance. In the commercial world, Caitlin Gray is somebody I really look up to. I'm taking her jazz class now, and she does a lot of commercial work for like Broadway and commercials and things, and so she's teaching me a lot. And yeah, the list goes on and on. I feel like Atlanta has some really great, down-to-earth, passionate artists that are willing to teach and share uh, their joy, which I appreciate. Earlier this year, I got a contract with Atlanta Contemporary Dance Company, which is a new dance company in Atlanta. And so I'm one of the founding members of it. And we have our show coming up the last week of March until April 2nd. So yeah, basically from here until May, it's just going to be performances after performances. I'm really excited though. That's what I want to do. Basically in August, they had an audition for dancers in the Atlanta area. Originally, I was there to, I guess, be moral support for a friend that was auditioning as well. And I was kind of just there. I was interested, but I was more there for her. And so I auditioned and ended up getting a contract that day. It was like a whirlwind. It happened so fast. It was like audition and then they chose people. And then, yeah, like it was like, okay, now you're a part of this. And so one thing I've learned through being a part of the company is that it takes a lot of work, lots and lots of work. And it becomes like, it becomes a full lifestyle. And I think that's the moment that like I realized that like, okay, dance is really starting to pour into my life now. Before it was kind of like a hobby. It was like, okay, I'm going to school for it. I haven't booked any jobs. I'm not a part of any companies, but I'm doing it and I'm like working hard at it. And so when that happened, it was like, wow, okay, so now I'm in a contract with this company for a year or 10 months, right? And so now it's like, dang, I'm excited. I think because I've like proven to myself that I can do anything. And I think I had to come to that point first of like realizing that I can do everything that I'm dreaming of. I definitely want to continue performing in whatever aspect that is, whether it be dance or singing or acting. And just continue to grow my production company that I have with my friend and continue to uplift other artists' voices and help them navigate projects and creative direct. And yeah, that's kind of what I want to do, yeah.